I never thought my father's funeral would be the day I discover who he really was. My name is Sarah, and this is the story of how I went from being the forgotten daughter to uncovering a truth that changed everything. Growing up, I was always the outsider in my own family. My older brother Marcus was the golden child. Perfect grades, perfect job, perfect life. Meanwhile, I struggled through community college while working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Dad never hid his favoritism. Every family dinner, every holiday, it was always about Marcus and his achievements. When I graduated, Dad didn't even show up. He said he had an important business meeting. But he flew across the country for Marcus's promotion party. Mom tried to soften the blow, but we both knew the truth. I wasn't the child he wanted. The day Dad died, I got a text message. Not a call. A text from Marcus saying Dad had a heart attack and didn't make it. I drove 6 hours to get home, crying the entire way. Not just because Dad was gone, but because even in death, I felt like an afterthought. The funeral was everything you'd expect. Expensive casket, hundreds of people, and Marcus playing the devastated son perfectly. People kept telling me how lucky I was to have such a successful brother to lean on. If only they knew. After the service, Dad's lawyer, Mr. Chen, asked the family to stay behind. He had a briefcase and that serious look lawyers get when they're about to deliver news. Marcus sat in the front row, confident as always. I sat in the back, expecting nothing. Mr. Chen opened the will and started reading. The house went to Mom. That was expected. Then came the business assets, the investment accounts, the vacation property. Every single thing went to Marcus. I wasn't surprised, just numb. Marcus smiled slightly, trying to hide it but failing. Then Mr. Chen cleared his throat and said there was one more thing. A separate letter Dad had written and sealed, with specific instructions that it be read aloud at this moment. My heart started pounding. Mr. Chen opened the envelope and began to read in Dad's words. To my family, if you're hearing this, I'm gone. Marcus, you're probably sitting there thinking you've won. You've spent your entire adult life manipulating me, lying to me, and using me for money. Sarah, you're probably in the back, feeling worthless like always. I need you both to know something. I knew everything. The room went silent. Mr. Chen continued. 3 years ago, I hired a private investigator. Not because I suspected anything, but because I wanted to set up a trust fund surprise for my retirement party. What I discovered instead destroyed me. Marcus, I found out about the gambling. The $100,000 you stole from my business account. The way you forged my signature on loan documents. The investors you scared away with lies so you could swoop in and look like the hero. Marcus's face went white. People in the room started whispering. But Mr. Chen kept reading. I found out you told Sarah I didn't come to her graduation because I didn't care. The truth is, you never told me about it. You deleted my calendar invite and told me it was the following month. By the time I realized, it was too late. I called Sarah and she wouldn't speak to me. I didn't blame her. You poisoned our relationship for years, Marcus. Every time Sarah reached out, you intercepted. You deleted emails, blocked numbers, told her I was too busy. You told me she said hurtful things she never said. You kept us apart because you wanted to be the only child who mattered. I felt like I couldn't breathe. All those years, all that pain, and it wasn't even real. Mr. Chen's voice cracked slightly as he continued reading. The investigator showed me everything. Text messages, bank statements, recorded phone calls. I wanted to confront you, Marcus, but my doctor told me my heart couldn't take the stress. So I decided to do this my way. Marcus, The inheritance you think you received? It's real, but it comes with conditions. Every asset is tied up in a trust that requires you to repay every dollar you stole, with interest. If you can't, and I know you can't because of your gambling debts, everything transfers to Sarah. You have 6 months. Marcus jumped up, shouting that this couldn't be legal. Mr. Chen calmly explained that it absolutely was, and that any attempt to contest it would trigger an immediate fraud investigation. Marcus looked at me with pure hatred, then stormed out. But Mr. Chen wasn't finished. Sarah, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. I failed you as a father. I was so focused on business, on appearances, that I let your brother's manipulation blind me. By the time I understood what was happening, the damage was done. I tried to reach out, but you changed your number. I wrote letters, but they came back unopened. I don't blame you for not trusting me. The investigator did more than expose Marcus. He helped me understand who you really are. I know about the non-profit you started for homeless youth. I know you used your own money you barely had, to help kids nobody else cared about. I know you work 70 hours a week and still volunteer at the shelter on Sundays. I know you're the person I should have celebrated all along. So here's what else I'm leaving you. There's a separate account, untouched by Marcus's inheritance games. $5 million. It's yours, free and clear. Use it for your non-profit. Use it for yourself. Use it however you want. You've earned it by being the human being I should have taught your brother to be. Tears were streaming down my face. People in the room were crying too. But Mr. Chen still had more to read. There's also a box in Mr. Chen's office. It contains every letter you ever sent me that Marcus hid. Every birthday card, every Christmas card, every attempt you made to connect. I saved them all once I found them. I read each one 100 times. Your words, your kindness, your hope that maybe we could fix things someday. It broke my heart knowing you were reaching out while Marcus told me you wanted nothing to do with me. I have one last request, Sarah. Don't let bitterness consume you. Your brother is sick in ways I couldn't fix. But you have a chance at a life filled with the love and purpose you've already been living. Make your non-profit bigger. Help more kids. Show the world what real success looks like. Not money or status, but impact and compassion. And maybe, if you can find it in your heart, forgive me. I don't deserve it, but I hope you know that in my final years, you were all I thought about. You were always my hero, Sarah. I was just too blind to see it. I love you. I'm sorry. Dad. The room was completely silent except for crying. Mr. Chen handed me a tissue and a key to a safety deposit box. He told me there were more personal items Dad had left, including photo albums and videos he'd recorded for me. That was 6 months ago. Marcus couldn't repay the money. Everything transferred to me like Dad planned. I haven't spoken to Marcus since that day. Mom and I are rebuilding our relationship. She admitted she knew some of what Marcus was doing, but felt powerless to stop it. We're working through it together. The nonprofit has expanded to 3 cities now. We've helped over 200 kids find housing, education, and hope. I named our main building after Dad. The Robert Mitchell Center for Second Chances. Because that's what his letter gave me. A second chance to know I was loved. A second chance to understand that the rejection I felt wasn't real. A second chance at having a father, even if only in memory. Sometimes I visit Dad's grave and read him updates about the nonprofit. I tell him about the kids we've helped, the lives we've changed. And I thank him for seeing me when I thought I was invisible. For choosing truth over comfort. For being the hero I needed, even if it came too late for us but just in time for me. They say blood is thicker than water, but I learned something different. Truth is thicker than lies, and love, real love, finds a way to break through even the deepest deception. My father's last act wasn't giving me money. It was giving me back myself. And that's worth more than any inheritance.